Uh, Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today, we'll be looking at stoichiometric, and under the stoichiometric, we'll be focusing on quantitative analysis. We'll focus basically on JAMB past questions. So if you are writing JAMB, please use this channel as an avenue for you to score more than 300 in your JAMB. So please make sure you go to the subscription box and click on the subscription, share the videos with your friends and colleagues. So the number one question here says, what mass of sodium triazocarbonate 4 is in 500 cm³ of 0.1 mole per dm³ sodium triazocarbonate 4? So let me take it again. What mass of sodium triazocarbonate 4 is in 500 cm³ of 0.1 mole per dm³ sodium triazocarbonate 4? So now, for you to know this now, you must understand the concept, the concept of mole, that is mole concept. And if we quickly go back to what we have studied before on mole concept, then you can remember that we studied 3 basic formulas on how to calculate the amount of substance, mass, and molar mass. So now, let's quickly have a recap on our past class. The first formula here says that amount of substance, we say amount is also known as what? Numbers of moles. That amount the first formula says that what? Amount is equals to mass all over what? Molar mass, right? So now, if you look at the JAMB question now, critically, now you will see that what they ask us to do is to what? Is to calculate the mass. This is what we are calculating. But now, looking at this formula now, for you to calculate the mass of this salt, you must have the amount of the salt and what? The molar mass. You must have the amount and the molar mass to calculate what? The mass. But if you look at the data that we are having here, what we have volume, which is equals to 500 cm³. Then we have concentration, which is C, to be 0.1 mole per dm³. So what we need here, we need our amount to calculate the mass. So how do we get our amount? So if you remember the formulas I gave us under the mole concept, this is number 1 formula. So it means we will use this formula to get mass, but we cannot use it to get amount. So what formula are we going to use to get our amount? That's what we want to do now. So if you look at that mole concept also, you notice that the number 2 formula says that amount is equals to numbers of particles or molecules or atoms or ions so you can also say what? Amount is equals to numbers of particles or numbers of molecules or atoms or numbers of ions all over 6.02 times 10 raised to the power of what? 23. And we call this what? Avogadro's number or constant. So you see, there's nothing like numbers of particles here. So we cannot still use this to get the amount. So this is not the right formula to use first. So can we check the last formula? So the last formula here says that amount is equals to concentration times volume. So you see, we can go ahead to use this very formula. It says what? Amount is equals to what? Concentration times volume. The first step here is to get our amount. So since we have concentration and volume, we can use this formula to calculate our what? Amount. Then from there, we'll proceed by calculating our mass. So now, we say our volume is 500 cm cube and our concentration is 0.1. But now, in the formula, we know that the volume should be in dm cube, not what? Cm cube. So we can go ahead to convert this cm cube to dm cube so that we use it. So if I want to convert cm cube to dm cube, I divide the cm cube by what? By 1000. So if you just divide 500 now, if you divide 500 by 1000, you have 0.5. 0.5. So our volume here is what? 0.5 dm cube, not cm cube again. You understand? Because concentration is in mole per dm cube, so our volume too should be in what? Dm cube. So now we can just go ahead to solve this. So my concentration is 0.1. My volume is 0.5. So what is my amount? So if I say 0.1 times 0.5 now, I will have 0.05. So the answer is what? 0.05 moles of sodium triacylcarbonate 4. So this is the amount of the sodium, 0.05 moles of the salt. So now, but what we are asked to do here is to calculate the mass. So this is the mole. So it's to calculate the mass. So now, remember that our amount is 0.05 moles. So we want to proceed by calculating the mass now. So if I want to calculate mass, then this formula is applicable. Amount so if we want to calculate mass, we say what? Amount is equals to mass over what? Molar mass. So if we make mass the subject of the formula here, if you make mass the subject of the formula, we have what? If we make mass the subject of the formula, we have amount times what? Molar mass. So now, since our amount is 0.05, how do we calculate our molar mass? So you know the molecular formula of the salt is what? CN2CO3. And you know that the molar mass of sodium is what? Sodium is equals to 23, carbon is equals to 12, oxygen is equals to what? 16. So let's calculate the molar mass. So we have what? 23 times 2 plus 12 plus 16 times what? 3. So let's do it together. 23 times 2 is here what? Here is 46 plus what? 12 plus 16 times 3. Here is what? 48. So if you plus everything here, it's going to give you 106 gram per mole. So the unit of measurement of molar mass is what? Gram per mole. So now our molar mass now is equal to what? 106. So now we can go ahead to calculate our mass now. So if I want to calculate mass now, the amount here is 0. What? 0.05 times 106. So can you see? Amount is 0.05. Then the molar mass is what? 106. So can we times this one and see what is the mass? So 0.05 times 106. So it's going to give us 5.3 grams. So our answer is what? 5.3 grams of sodium triosocarbonate 4. So please, if there is any question or you do not understand something, you can quickly go to the comment side or section, then ask your question there. Thank you.
Yeah, I said this video if you post them. Make you post them.